Hello, welcome to the penultimate stream of Itaewon By Night Season 2, Episode 9. Thanks for waiting for clarification because we needed a break last week rather. We're going to be continuing our finale into next week. So today was supposed to be the finale, blah, blah, blah. This is the penultimate episode. Thanks for the patience. Meet us after the break for Bad House specific announcements. As a reminder, constantly, we have a tip menu. $10 will give our vampires a reroll much needed, wherein they will be able to take the higher results. $20 gives our players a flashback, where our players will be able to rewrite history and take the advantage into their own hands. I believe we still have one at the moment. Holding on. Use them all tonight.
Eventually.
You won't need it. You won't need it next week. Itaewon By Night, once more, we just wrapped up our 9-week-long sponsored series where we gave out codes for Hero Forge's beautiful acrylic standees. On the Bad House Twitter, we did retweet one of them already. Please, if you have them and want to post them on Twitter and tag us, we will be so happy to share them with the world. You can find all updates and winners on Bad House Twitter. As a reminder, because of new Twitter, you need to make sure your DMs are open and verified members only is untoggled. Once more, we're in the last stretch of Itaewon By Night. It's been a amazing summer with all of you, with our vampires. And once more, schedules permitting, Itaewon By Night finishes up next week, September 5th. Our content warnings, our usual content warnings for the show, can be found by the Twitch command !CW. In particular, this week and next, gaslighting will be a major addition. To introduce myself, I am your storyteller, Josephine for tonight. I go by @ScaryDogFriend, and I do lots of stuff. You're gonna hear about it at the end. I will pass it on over to Youngles.
Hi, I'm Youngles. I am Wendy. We both use she, they pronouns, and I'm going to pass it on.
Right. Okay. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer who is currently suffering with bad internet. Today, I will be playing Cerise Shaheen, who uses they, them pronouns, and Cerise is our fledgling Frenchru. And with that, I will pass things over to Jay.
I have already gone. I'm going to pass things to Fabs.
Never mind.
How's it going? My name is Fabs, producer here over at Bad House RPG. I am playing Jet tonight.
To recap, last episode, everyone received dream sequences that seemed to be pushed or forced onto them. Starting with Wendy, who seemed to have the most control of theirs, however, spoke to a dream figure of Hain, a college girl who Wendy had been helping out with money and transportation, but is actually her niece. A dream figure of a swallow bird tells Wendy she can get comfort or answers from the dream. Hain seemed to be the response to comfort. Viridian met Debbie under less control of their circumstances, but with enough control to realize and have a lucid conversation with Debbie, who seemed to be sharing the dream. Viridian finds out in the sequence that Debbie may or may not be is in love with Viridian, and that she had been hiding out in the United States where she had been first turned. Jet and Cerise found themselves with the least amount of control, having to navigate the feeling of falling and restricted to memories of locations they had only been in before. They reconcile. Converging in the real non-dream world, Wendy reveals through her dream sequence she had been given a Fey item, a blood root from within a squash gourd, as something offered to them as answers. Fashion Week starts now. Could I get a rouse check from all of my vampires?
I succeeded.
I fail.
I need to
Success.
find my character sheet.
What are you at, Cerise?
I am at a mere 1 hunger.
Jet?
I am at 2.
2. 2 from Viridian and Wendy.
Mine says 3,
Okay.
which I'm pretty sure is right.
We're getting up there.
Getting hungry.
Getting hungry. Okay. Seoul Fashion Week. This year rather, somehow conveniently outside and at night, which to the usual person during the business day may or may not find themselves exhausted at the end of the day or whatever it may be, but really no one is complaining that much because it's a beautiful summer days. Monsoons and such certainly still a factor, but the city has money, and so do the very important people who are running Seoul Fashion Week. For however and whatever reason, weather is no issue. As late as it is or will be, no issue. The show, the star of the show, the up-and-coming fashion designer, editorial photographer, creative director based in San Francisco, Rin Isaiah Pierce. A mixed Asian, non-binary person wearing business casual is not the word. Business editorial, business exploration, something along those lines. With a dragon sleeve tattoo, a stylized, undercut, slicked back, bleached hair, angled cheekbones, as well as angled red eyeshadow. They look over schematics, they look over floor plans of the runway itself and the walking paths. Almost a tick that carries over from their real life, picking at their fingernails. There is a quality to their expression, the way that their eyebrow furrows. And to the corner, as if a camera were panning to the side, a completely destroyed set of clothing, torn apart, bloodied for however reason. The highlights, they say eclectic, eccentric, electric designs for formal business attire, high fashion, utilization of motion and momentum, kinetic couture. Korean high fashion in magazine highlighting sustainability using digital textile printing and recycled fibers, collaborations with the sustainable Korean wedding movements using a local native tree bark used to create those tight-knit linens, those fibers to make wedding dresses. Notably, Rin's main fashion line being showcased utilizing eco-conscious recycling of plastic waste, digital technology, and hand craftsmanship, being the ultimate reason for Rin's spotlight this year. Fashion Week will be hosted at the Dongdaemun Design Plaza outside, once more at night. On this desk, this room of disarray, tickets to what seems to be a third-party VIP event, something happening at the Dowager Queen or the Hwangdae Opera House later at that night after the first show. On the ticket itself, almost as if it were a public broadcasted event, the graphic design, the texture, the stock of the invite itself, showing hosted and sponsored by Sujin Kim, CEO of the K-pop company Core, musically attended by the K-pop group Gakkibi. With all the names, all these resources, all the information floating about. We start during fashion show. It is a beautiful night. Runway being set up, having been already set up all around the people who are important enough having seats, people not so important standing around, however. And very soon, as all of the lights begin to dim from allowing the outside place to be walkable. The first model comes down the walkway, this walk path, dressed in almost this cumulus, this cloud-like construction of an outfit, and what seems to be a spiraling ring all around them, moving in a circular motion, as if a rainstorm, but only moving in circling sort of a fashion. Crystals coming down their body as if rain, their body, this construction, this cloud. Their makeup almost as if electricity, lightning. And the music bumping throughout the streets, throughout the center, as if lightning, as if thunder. And down continues to come these eclectic fashion, the show bringing in a certainly absurdist, surreal sort of movement to everything. But all around you is the awe, the pleasure, the clap, the applauses for each singular model, each creation. And the models themselves, they seem to smile. They're able to laugh and look around and sort of dance along. There seems to be a function to the models dancing and moving along with the kinetic couture. All of you, as you witness this, whether or not you're important enough to sit or standing around as you desire, as you'd like, you've seen these expensive stock, these cards, these invitations to something where the familiar name Sujin Kim, one of the elders, showcases itself. And you do notice, you see, it's mostly kindred with these invitations. But there isn't an invitation in your hand. Viridian, you probably have one. But as we see all of you in your different outfits, the people that you're sitting or standing around, who would like to tell us who and what are you wearing right now?
I can go first. I think you find Cerise wearing what can only be described as a mermaid chic dress. It is a corset in the top that kind of fans out into like a mermaid style dress. It is completely white, and it is strapless with the bust of it looking like seashells going along their chest. And the detailing, the outline of this dress is gold metallic filigree that lines the entirety of it. Small little baubles here and there. And at one hip, they have a golden, almost like a brooch, pinning a string of pearls that act like a belt that kind of go along the other side of their hip and wrap around their waist. And they are wearing beautiful white and gold jewelry. A large necklace adorns, I think, their bare neck and chest. Long, droopy earrings that are similarly, I think, pearl earrings that hang. And Cerise is currently, I think, standing next to an older gentleman that the audience might recognize and is leaning in, looking very, very interested in what he has to say. And they kind of like lean in, their one hand tapping their chin, and they say, you know, it is so coincidental to see you here. I wouldn't have pegged you to be one for high fashion.
And you sort of look at him in his usual all like green snake suit. monstrosity really of an outfit, his like scaled like leather shoes, and his own like slicked back hair. Thankfully he died when he had a full head full of hair,
He
because
died?
otherwise he's a vampire.
Okay, I was like,
Think he
hello?
just died immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he just died.
And once more, a classic moment of male vampire wearing sunglasses in this absolute darkness. But you've seen even from like the side view of him, the protean sort of nature of it all, the red eyes sitting behind the glasses, his like leather gloved hands, not willing to touch anything in particular. But he regards you despite the many cases and instances of his name being thrown out. Finally, you see him after so long. And he looks over you, quirking an eyebrow. I look like this. You don't think you said that you weren't able to tell someone like me as into fashion?
I thought you were just above all of this, But it's so nice to see you here, genuinely. It's a pleasant surprise amongst all of the crowd. And Sirius kind of like gestures to the general vicinity, where people are kind of gathered watching the show, standing or sitting. You add a certain liveliness to the festivities.
Do I know?
You do. And if it's not too much trouble, I mean, I don't mean to impose, but I would love to perhaps spend the evening with you. I figure you could probably show me around a little bit. And Cerise, I think, like, looks around, making a big show of it, and kind of, like, leans in even further, putting a hand to their mouth, and starts to whisper, "It's my first time being invited to an event like this."
Please give me a charisma plus persuasion.
Okay. Is it okay if I use my pretty dice for this?
Always, of course. Please
Heck
get a
yeah.
5.
Oh, okay, I got 11 successes.
Okay, beautiful, amazing. Jesus Christ.
The only
Look
time
at
the
it.
dice have ever been nice to me.
Yeah, literally.
And it's flirting with this old man.
Incredible. Viridian is so proud of you.
He looks at you as if he wants to say something, wants to sweeten the deal for himself. But he looks down at you. You see him, I think, he ruminates for a while. He's sort of peeking through the like red eyes behind the sunglasses. Sure, why not? Where in particular you're trying to get into?
Well, and Cerise, I think, stays in that like really close proximity to Enhino's face, still whispering conspiratorially at him. Well, you see, I wasn't invited to the VIP party later, and I'm sure someone as important as yourself was. So if you need a +1,
Sorry, what is happening? Okay. He looks at you like, do you not consider yourself an important person, Shaheen?
I do, but you know how it is with these social events. It's not me that decides if I'm not the one in charge, and well, I'm not the one in charge of Seoul Fashion Week. And I don't know this CEO well enough, unfortunately, to have gotten an invitation myself. But perhaps you could change that?
if you want to give me a wits insight, just to kind of
Ooh, okay.
maybe get a reasoning for.
I got 4 successes.
That's good. He's trying to get rid of you, but there's sort of this, like, why do you have to be so cute? Kind of
That's
thing.
Cerese's sweet spot. They're annoying, but they're so pretty.
He seems to have also lost something recently. Lost someone, maybe.
And I think maybe Cerise like sees him like looking around, like maybe doing the thing where you're like not super invested in the conversation that you're in, and he's like looking for this person he's lost, and they follow his eyes, and they say, "In return, I can help you find whoever you're looking for."
It's not like that. They're not here.
Oh, who is it that wasn't important enough to be invited?
That insight check carrying over, you see him sort of like his tongue flick out and like lick his lips in sort of a vague annoyance with your words, specifically like who wasn't important enough. Let me just get you into this party, okay?
Okay, but I don't take anything for free. I can still help you maybe get this person in, if you'd like.
Give me another check. What do you want to use to? This could be a persuasion thing, but I'll let you use whatever you'd like to try and get who he's looking for out of his mouth.
I will do persuasion, and I'm going to argue that it's manipulation,
Yeah.
because I want to make it seem like I'm doing this to like help him, but really I'm just trying to get information. All right. I'm gonna use one of my free rolls that Chris gave me. Thank you, Chris. Okay, 6 successes.
That's really good. I I doubt my daughter has really been around your circles. You don't need to worry about it.
Above table, daughter being Rie or
Rie.
and above table, would Cerise know the name of his daughter just like outside of Jet? Okay, so it's not like weird if I say her name.
Most likely. Like it could be like
she was there in the meeting when in season 1 when we all went to meet.
yeah.
And she was there.
And
Okay.
it's a 75 to 25% chance of her selling you your apartment, you know?
Okay, cool. Then I think at that Cerise kind of smiles, this like big, very plastered on, but hopefully for N can't tell smile. Oh, that's no problem at all. I can bring Rieshi here. Just give me some time. And in the meantime, the VIP party?
If for whatever reason you can convince my daughter to be here, sure, I'll give you something extra.
Okay. I will take you up on that. In the meantime, and Cerise will kind of, I think in a very annoying way, boop, like him on like it meant to be playful, but it's extremely annoying. Way it's just gonna like boop him on the nose and say, "I will see you later," and they are going to walk away.
Were you trying to be covert at all with this conversation, or were you just being out and open kind of as possible?
I think the fact that Cerise is talking to Enhino is not like a secret. Like they're not trying to hide who they're talking to or anything.
Okay.
But I think the discussion about like getting into the VIP party, like Cerise was trying to like whisper that a little bit to him, so
Yeah.
that hopefully people don't hear.
You're gonna get a text message from Hana Yoon. Just like, why did I see you with Enhino?
And Cerise will look at their phone. We'll see that text and go,
Once you look up, you see her from like 30 feet away.
Cerise just like looks up at Hana and just gives like a confused, like, what are you doing here? Look.
She gestures kind of like wildly back at you, like saying the same thing.
And I think Cerise will walk towards Hana instead of gesturing at each other wildly at a very high fashion event. What are you doing here?
I gotta ask you, do you walk through the runway because it's like an open path, or do you walk like
No, I'll walk around it. I'm not gonna be that insane.
it's a
walk onto
super
it.
long. It takes like 5 minutes to get to each other. Yeah. And you said, what are you doing here? I got fucking invited here.
By who? No offense.
Yeah, fuck you. And then I think she's been drinking, and she like gestures over to what seems to be like Bertrand Cyriel trying to like be covert, but he's talking to Young Chol, who is not covert, and they're like it's just kind of yelling at each other, like a whisper yelling at each other.
Mm.
Who do you think?
Oh, of course. I should have figured when Young Chol gave me an invitation that his boyfriend would have also given you one. Well,
Okay, is that for real?
it has to be, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and I am trying not to think about that because that really complicates the case. But anyway,
We're forgetting it. We never even nothing.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
I was never told. Also, let's not talk about work while we're here.
I agree.
And I think I think Cerise like takes a beat, kind of like sizes Hana up a bit, like looking like they're like evaluating her, and then goes, "What are you drinking?"
Oh, it's like a soju cocktail with like champagne.
Give me one.
Okay. Oh, I have to go get you one. Where are you gonna stay here, or are you just gonna come with me?
I'm gonna take your seat.
Okay. Whatever.
And I think like canonically before this event, if it's okay with you, Jet, Cerise and I assume everyone else had like taken your alchemy in order to allow us to temporarily be able to consume while we're here without throwing up, because
That's great.
yeah.
And her dress, I think it is not. Again, her thing is like simple as better or whatever. So she's wearing like a very like slick black bodycon sort of suit with some higher heels than usually. And her boobs are bigger than yours.
And I think Cerise like notices that, looks down, really seriously thinks about whether it would be worth going to the bathroom to fix this issue. Decides against it and just sits down in the seat.
What would you do? Like, would you kill her? Like, what?
No, I would stuff my bra. What else?
Oh, got it.
Go get a bunch of toilet paper and shove that in there.
Yeah. So true.
No, I'm not gonna kill her just for having bigger boobs.
We're gonna rectify this. Okay. Excellent. Cerise, that is your
Excellent.
scene. You get a soju champagne cocktail with your enemy. And we will move right on over to who is the next person? What are you wearing? I'm like an interviewer on a carpet.
I can go. I I think the camera sort of pans down this runway. Maybe we follow a model as they strut along, and seated kind of near the end, um, more in the dark than I think like the midsection, which is lit brighter. Viridian is seated. I think they would sit in the front row of this thing. And Viridian is wearing a two-piece white pantsuit, with a like cropped top of the top part, and high-waisted, like wide-legged, very like nicely pressed pants. They also have another like a white shoulder cape thrown over their shoulders, and it's like fuzzy, and um their outfit is an older two-piece set from Alexander McQueen. And I think they're wearing I think they'd wear black stilettos, probably like Louboutins or something. And Viridian has been styled with this very like sleek, dark editorial look. Their hair has been um, filled with so much gel and slicked down across their forehead. And she's wearing gold geometric earrings and a series of layered necklaces, including a silver chunky chain and a set of large dark pearls to complement the rest of the fit. Um, and they are seated at the like near the end of this walkway. Um, I think by themselves, or maybe Cal is seated with her. And she's watching the show. Viridian's had tickets to Seoul Fashion Week for a while now because they were going to come to this event regardless. They very much enjoy high fashion. And I think they have like a glass of something. They have a glass of red something. Wine or something.
Cal is seated next to you. At the moment, I believe Ted is on, sort of broke away with Wendy, which we will get to very soon. With about the same time, etc. From what you remember Ted wearing, he seemed fine from the back, but you never know. Kian has fully disappeared.
Of course. Okay. Love this. Kyun better prove himself. And I think just throughout this scene, as like these models are walking down, Viridian is just leaning over to Cal, making comments on the outfits. And I think this whole time, Viridian is sort of scanning the crowd, looking for any sign of Rin. I don't think Viridian is trying to hide, but she's definitely trying to make sure that she sees Rin first so that Rin doesn't surprise them. Which is why they picked this spot kind of at the end of the whole thing. They can watch people walking around.
I need 2 checks from you, given all of that. I'm gonna need a wits awareness difficulty 3, wits awareness difficulty 5.
Okay. Wits awareness. Let's see. So I roll twice for each of those, or?
Yeah. Give me the 3 first.
Okay, am I allowed to... Actually, well, that's not awareness, that's perception. Never mind. I was gonna say, can I add my heightened senses? Because it lets me, like, see in the dark so I can have better vision.
You can do that for both.
Okay. 4 successes for the first roll. And 2 successes and a bestial failure.
Okay.
Second one.
Please mark that hunger.
Yep. I'm getting
For the first one, swimming colors. However, at whatever point that you begin to actually realize this, or however you feel about this, also, were you punctual? You were in the seats just as the runway was starting?
Yeah. I don't think Viridian would have been late.
Every time that a model walks past you and they catch your eye or they notice you, you notice a very brief, sudden look over to you where they obtain eye contact with you, and their eyes glint a pink red, and their once jovial expression from smiling goes to just like a haunted default look, and then immediately as they turn their head, they blink back to dancing, back to smiling.
Hello? Okay. Would I have any idea as to what the hell is happening?
That would be you can argue for any attribute, but that would be an investigation or a cult.
Okay. What is my investigation skill? It's the same as a cult, so it doesn't matter. How about intelligence?
Sure.
Okay. Can I don't think I've done this in like the entirety of 2 seasons. Can I use blood search?
Of course.
How does that work? Is that willpower? to do that?
No. So I believe that's like 1 or 2 extra dice for you.
Make a rouse
That's-
check.
Yeah, it's 2.
You make a
Oh,
rouse
make a
check
rouse
first.
check. Okay.
Yeah.
Regardless whether failure or success,
Okay.
you can
That's a
search.
success. Okay.
Great.
Success on that.
And then
I
add 2.
will add 2 dice. Awesome. That's amazing. Love that for me. Okay. That is 3 successes from that.
With 3, it is a result of a presence-based discipline.
Interesting. Would I get the feeling that's like triggered by seeing me, or is it
It's a good question. I think you can only infer that. It's not exact, but it seems to have a trigger if they realize it's you. If they realize they're looking at you at the very least.
interesting? And can you describe the look that they're giving me again? It like their eyes are glowing a weird color and then they look haunted, you said?
They look like it's not a fear, it's like a disdain towards you.
Lovely. And is this Rin's collection that's currently walking, or is it
Oh, yeah.
just anyone? Okay.
It's a spotlight.
Of course. Okay. Viridian will lean over to Cal and just point it out, I think. Viridian just kind of leans over and says, "Do you notice the looks they're all giving me?"
Cal is gonna roll. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at them when I think like after a few seconds to like a minute of Cal like also just sort of observing each model going down, she looks at you like very confused, like I'm not noticing anything.
That's so strange. And I think Viridian says that as like another model gives me that same look. And
Yeah.
Viridian just says, I think our friend Rin is up to something. I don't know what it is, but it can't be good.
as for that difficulty 5 roll, what
That I failed.
happens? What happens to the beast when you attempt to try to follow your eye, mark some surrounding, something, trying to find Rin? What happens in your mind?
I think Viridian feels the probing of Serana's presence within them inside their mind. And I think this is something that Viridian feels pretty rarely. I think Viridian tends to be able to control this beast pretty well. But it's something that they are used to, and I think Serana's voice echoes within their mind something extremely critical. I think Serana's beast within Viridian is just ever critical, and is probably speaking directly about Rin to Viridian. Probably trying to feed into Viridian's own insecurities and anxiety about whatever Rin has planned. And I think Cal can see like Viridian just close their eyes really tight as they try to just like push Serana out. And I think it takes them a couple seconds to sort of rid of the voice of their sire. And Viridian just kind of like shakes her head and says, I need to find him before anything else bad happens.
Do you want to get up, just at the very least walk around to clear your head a little bit? Do you need to eat?
I do. I was not thinking I would feed here, given how many people are around. But I will need to feed soon, yes. I think Viridian seems very distracted now, and they gather their, I think they have a handbag or something, and they take that. And they stand and quickly excuse themselves, I think, to go walk around as Cal had suggested.
Do you want Cal to come with you, or to just...
I think, yeah, Viridian would bring
Okay.
Cal. For safety.
For safety. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you are walking around, I believe one more thing that I would love to recall. I won't make you roll for this, but you see Kyun walking hand in hand with an older man into what seems to be a closed store.
Okay. Well, okay. Can I catch his eye?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I catch his eye, and Viridian's eyes just flash red at him. As if to say, like, what are you doing?
Kyun sticks his tongue out, does a rock sign, and then he goes into the store.
All right. Viridian literally does this and just walks the other way.
Okay. Who's next? What are you wearing?
We're just gonna stare at each other until we somebody.
Wendy doesn't know who she's wearing. Come on.
It doesn't have to
Dress-
be who.
Wendy was dressed by Viridian stylist. So you're wearing someone fancy.
Wendy showed up and they were told to throw their arms out and then put this on. And that's what happened.
Yep.
What is this? Describe it.
So
you're wearing
when-
Vivienne Westwood.
Okay, sure.
Just like very business casual, but
Very
whatever.
business casual. Wendy is going a little bit more mask now that I don't know, we're in this new phase of life right now.
Oh, yeah.
And Wendy is slowly kind of becoming more confident in having this coterie / safe space to do whatever they want without really a lot of consequences. So they feel a little bit more able to let go and allow Viridian to dress them as they see appropriate. So they're wearing their normal blazer because they still love this, but they have like a button down that's kind of like open, very tousled, like rough hair, a little bit more bolder on the makeup than normal, but you know, whatever, we'll go with it, trying to blend into high fashion and things. And Wendy is wearing like pinstripe, like kind of like wide legs, kind of high up trousers, I guess, with like some heels that are more platformy, so Wendy doesn't completely break their ankles. Yeah, and these because they're cute.
Amazing. Are you sitting because you're important, or are you standing because you're less important?
I am so less important. I'm going to be very
Okay.
less important. Wendy did not come in the Viridian train and instead decided to kind of low-key go in a alias name in case, you know, maybe some death needs to happen or something.
Mhm,
Perhaps.
mhm. Are you standing with anybody in particular?
That depends on what Ted's wearing, I guess, and if he's there. But Wendy would definitely be in the back, kind of like leaning up against a pole, like just surveying the place, trying to look like they're too cool to be here and completely blending in. And you see Wendy kind of like watching what other people are doing with their drinks and kind of trying to like pose like accordingly and like not look too obvious, but like has never really been to this high-end fashion space before, because I don't even think we've been like Wendy has been in a situation where they felt they need to go, and is kind of more in like security detail kind of mode, just making sure that Viridian is gonna be okay.
Absolutely. Whether or not he was with you now or since the beginning or just really at this moment, Ted kind of comes lumbering towards you. He seems to have brought like outside like food, what seems to be like food trucks from maybe like a block down away from this little area. But he seems to have like kind of armfuls of like classic like japchae, fucking like rose sauce tteokbokki and like spicy haemulpajeon. He just brought shit that was like $1, you know,
Yes.
over here. And perhaps anyone will inquire as to why he thought that he had the time to do that or not. It's a very funny situation. He lumbers over to you. He is wearing what seems to be a nice looking blazer, some nice looking dress shoes and slacks, but he is wearing an Adidas tracksuit top underneath the blazer. And you know, is he getting fired?
Viridian told everyone to dress up.
I think when you saw Kyun as well, Kyun's like shirt is like very unbuttoned. And Calliope is the only one
Viridian-
who paid attention.
Good. Viridian is glad that on paper they came with just Cal.
Yeah. Yep. Ted
Cal is
kind of
not
comes.
one.
Ted lumbers over to you and like kind of like, and nudges your arm with like just so obviously creasing his suit wherever he walks. And he's just like, you can eat today, right? That's like a thing. You can. I got some stuff.
Okay, Ted, we have to talk about double wrapping the plastic because I could smell you coming from over there. But it's okay. It's okay. And Wendy kind of just like grabs like a random blazer that's like on a chair near her and just like throws it over the food to try to hold like the bag like over his arm to kind of like cover some of it, and is like, okay. I'm gonna meet you in that corner over there at that table, okay?
And I think at the same time that you were like kind of making this plan up, he had just been like on a small rant about like, I swear there's like this weird thing where people really cut up with like fish or meat smell. Like it's meat, it's like it's food that you're eating. Why does you need to mask it with another? And it's just like a weird like culinary thing he's just noticed. It is just what seems to be like a stress response of just like, I feel very uncomfortable with where I'm at, and I need to make myself a little noticeable to make myself feel more comfortable. And like the way that I will seem like an incompetent person, so people ignore me if I seem weird now. Eventually, he, with the old man kind of like complaining, he finally goes over to you, begins to chill out, kind of sets down the food, down like a little, for some reason there's a table like there's like some standing tables around the area. Maybe he dragged it over to the corner. And there is also I think 2 tall boys of beer that he has also brought, maybe a brand that the both of y'all liked when you didn't have cash.
Yeah. So I think Wendy would be like, kind of like, I know that everyone here probably speaks multiple languages, but is still kind of like grown up very poor. So it's like, yeah, here, let me explain it to you. Like very like treating like Ted doesn't know what's going on. And kind of is like when people aren't looking, or kind of like engages in regular conversation because Wendy doesn't want too much attention drawn
Yeah.
to them, but is very, very thankful that Ted brought all of their favorites because this food doesn't even look like it could feed animals. To be quite honest, I don't even know what that shrimp thing is over there. I've never even seen that before. But I guess I'll try it. And then Wendy just starts shoving their face full of chapchae and tteokbokki and whatever. But still surveying like what's happening and making sure that they can kind of keep eyes on Viridian and kind of looking around and stuff.
Yeah. After finishing at least half of the beer in like one go, he kind of like, he's beginning to sort of like sleight of hand a few bits of information to you. And just for fun, we're gonna roll to see how good of a job he does. He does pretty good. He's like, I think kind of under the guise of maybe like napkins or something, he slides over to you what seems to be Polaroids. And that is specifically 2 Polaroids of where George Statham and Barbecue are stationed in specific locations. So it seems that George Statham and Barbecue are both kind of on opposite ends of what seems to be an administrative, like, they are where understandably they should be stationed, which is like the backstage of the runway.
Okay. Wendy takes them and kind of like puts them in her coat somewhere, and it's like, what? Thanks. What are you supposed to stay with me? Can I leave you here? What?
You can,
You gonna be okay?
I'm gonna be so real. I lost the boy.
You lost the boy?
Kyle,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no fucking idea where he is.
Was this before or after you went and got food?
Me losing him?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really know him, right? I don't think it's my fault that if he said he'd watch a post, that he would perhaps remain there.
Uh-huh.
Was I on babysitting duty tonight, or was I on watching dangerous people from the military duty? I lost him after realizing I could not trust him.
That's usually how that that tracks. I mean, okay. Where did you lose him?
The like near kind of the entrance area, near the building with the arch and stuff.
The place where the people come in. That part? That's where?
What am I missing?
Okay.
What did I?
Just, I mean, you had 2 jobs today, and you just told me you failed both of them. So,
What was the
I
first
mean,
job?
whatever this is that you're wearing right now, because I can tell you that Viridian sees this. This is not. You are.
This was like a $70 jacket.
Even I can. If I'm telling you, it's probably. You know what? It's fine. Let's just. Okay.
I'm not
Here.
owning anything I barely even want to own a $70 jacket.
You're so precious.
I'm 60 years old.
Understand. Yes. Not correct. Okay. You stay here. I'm gonna go see if I can find Kyun, I guess, because you lost him. Or at least maybe, you know what? Maybe you should go watch the entrance. Do you still have that? You can still text me, right? That's something you know how to do still? Because the dressing, I mean...
I didn't just become infirm in a day.
Are you sure? Okay. No, you're right. Maybe I'm just not used to your methods anymore, Ted, because it's been a while since we've,
I feel crazy.
Uh-huh. Okay. How can I help you right now, Ted? Because
It's not your
clearly...
responsibility. I am just saying words with which you
Okay.
don't have to necessarily provide any advice or do anything about.
Okay, so you're gonna be okay here? Should I call someone for you? Should I get Cal? Do you want me to have her take you home?
Don't get Cal. Don't get Cal.
Okay. Just want to make sure. All right, so you stay here. Here's, you know what?
I
You
know
can
she's
finish-
older than me, but it doesn't feel right.
Okay. We have bigger problems right now. Especially, I don't want to be here either. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know any of these people. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I have enough problems than to take care of your problems right now. Okay? Why did you have to lose him?
I thought I could trust him. Nobody told me anything about him.
You're right. That was my bad. That was our bad. I'm so sorry. Do you think you could find him? You don't know him enough to find him.
I could.
Ted, you've been a military cop for how long? You can't find one person?
I don't have him. I don't have an Apple tag on him.
What's that?
That's what I also asked. I thought it was like this was like a thing they put on all
Like
the
the
clothes at
stickers?
stores.
Like the stickers they put on the apples? Like that kind of... Is that an Apple
Yeah,
tag?
something like that. But it's not, which feels like a lost opportunity.
Right. Why would he need an Apple sticker?
The two of you go on this whole thing about
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
And would you like to look for Kian, or would you like Ted to go find Kian?
I don't think Wendy is going to trust Ted to go look for Ken at this point without getting himself in more trouble and them just having to follow Ted around at this point and make sure nobody kicks him out for looking like that. So I'm going to go look for Ken, and Ted is going to sit here and maybe hopefully watch the other two people. Maybe, perhaps.
Wendy, you pretty immediately find Kian. I'll say, I think you walk around for maybe like 2 minutes, and Kian walks out of what seems to be an empty, like an abandoned store, like fully, like it's fully, rather than abandoned, we'll say it's like fully renovated for like someone to rent it out at some point within like this like center, with a random old man, disheveled, and it just seems to like salute kind of flirtatiously to the guy, and has kind of like what seems to be 2 like ticket looking items in his like breast pocket.
Wendy will just like slide up in front of them and be like, "Hey, where have you been?"
Who are you again?
That's not important. You were supposed to be not here, and you're here. Why?
Are you're Wanda or something?
Sure. Yep, that's my name. So
Wanda Singh.
Yes,
Yeah?
Wanda Singh. That is my name.
Okay, got it. Great.
Yes.
Are you somebody I should be telling information to?
Absolutely. I don't know.
Okay, sounds good.
I think Wendy has like a fake badge on them, like just like a really quick, like, I'm totally working security undercover. Like, like, tell me everything before I kick you out.
Yep.
Because I could do that.
So Viridian.
Yeah.
Needs this is still Ken talking to Wendy. So Viridian, needed some tickets, and I got the tickets.
Okay, how many tickets?
I got 2 now, but I'm pretty sure I could get 2 more.
Okay, yeah.
I just have to follow a limousine back to a hotel.
And
I can do that probably in like 5 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Well, getting there, I could get there in 5 minutes, and then I can, however long it takes after that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Do you want to meet me back here for Viridian to get the tickets? Because I can go give them.
Oh, should I go to the hotel?
Do you not want to go alone? Like, what's at the hotel?
I have no worries about that. I recently got on a plan.
Okay. And Wendy is just like, what is with everybody tonight? A plan for what? Does that have to do with Apple tax?
No. Immortality.
Okay.
I'm almost there. Gotta wait like 6 more months.
An immortality plan? You know what?
Yeah.
And who did you get this? Did you subscribe on the interwebs, or how did you get this plan?
No, from Viridian.
Oh, from Viridian. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can go suck 2 more guys' dicks for 2 more tickets.
Then Wendy is just like,
that one guy was worth 2 tickets.
oh, okay. You know what? Yeah, you just, whatever you need to do, just be safe. I'm gonna take these, and I will meet you back here.
And you work for my boss?
Yes.
Like, sure, okay.
And then Wendy is gonna text Viridian and say, we need new help, stat, because something is in the water. I just got your tickets off of Kian, and he didn't even ask me any real questions. So
somewhere far away, as Viridian's walking around the crowd, they feel like a part of themselves die a little. What the hell, Kyung?
And unless there's anything else, Wendy, we're gonna move on to Jet.
Hi, it's me, Jet.
What are you wearing?
So Jet pulled out all the stops for this. So Jet is wearing this cotton top with like an A cut kind of silhouette, backless turtleneck kind of collar. But there's like this kind of window to accentuate his tattoo. You can plainly see like the lily and the snake that is around it. He's wearing his black Howry with like the snake logos on him, two on the front and one huge one in the back. He's wearing Toby pants, which are like very oversized, like baggy pants, kind of like what you see from like those Japanese construction workers. But they're quite stylized. He has like a thick silk rope as a belt. He has like kind of gladiator sandals, and his hair is done up just the regular way. And yeah, that's what he's wearing. You see the top is very intricate. It's not just white. You see it has a basket weave kind of construction to it. And yeah, you see bits of skin and bits of tattoos peeking out of parts of the outfit.
Amazing. Are you sitting because you're important or standing because you're not that important?
So me and two other companions get there extremely late. Like at the last piece of the collection, they walk through the door and are obnoxiously walking towards their seats, and kind of asking whether people are sitting in their seats, and realizing no, it's a little further down. And then they sit down as soon as the model gets to the end of the runway and as they're coming back. And as soon as they sit down, they all take out their phones. If you want to describe the two my two companions, if you want to do it or want to let me do it, it's up to you.
No, I got it. We have we have an influencer, this young girl with this like long, beautiful, what seems to be like untouched by bleach and dye hair that is in what seems to be like loose, slept in waves. A very like more of a spring outfit, but that's maybe her vibe. There's a very nymph like elegance to this young woman, like a green and pink sort of nature to her. This being Vanessa, your friend, the influencer, the go-go dancer, the multitasking lover of life, but also a hwarang, one of the community vanguard of Homo Hill, someone who is disarming, beautiful, as well as a kindred. Vanessa, who her temperament is to squeal or to clap loudly, excitedly at every design that she sees that she adores in some fashion. But also because of doing that very pointedly, if she doesn't like someone, is very quiet awkwardly when certain models come down, and a little bit of hope or spirit flies away from each model that she does not squeal ecstatically to. And to the left of you, presumably, is Peck, or in the more Korean pronunciation, Peck, in the more American whatever pronunciation, Beck. A Chaoshik, very sleek kind of young man, very dressed, put together. Not so much, I think, fashionably, but looks as if kind of in the John Wick fashion of a suit where it looks like a gun could just come out of somewhere. His it seems for whatever reason he's wearing driving gloves, really into gloves. Is on his phone similarly to Vanessa, but only in appearance. He is very much occupied in his own thing, is very clearly a +1, is very clearly here for the prestige of it all. But seems to be enjoying his time just as well as all of you. Vanessa is absolutely the reason that you're late, which she is filling in the time with her gone by being absolutely excited.
Yeah, and I think as we sit there, just kind of taking in whatever is left of the show, I think I might have like seen Kyun at a distance, whether or not
Yep.
Kyun has seen me, and I kind of acknowledged like that that they're doing their own thing, and I just like kind of give them a nod of like full what's the word I'm looking for, very full approval as to what they're doing, because I know that they're gonna make Viridian proud, whatever they're doing, whether or not Viridian knows it yet, or and yeah, I'm probably gonna scan the room, like scan like the crowd, and look whether or not my target is there.
You came in late. Give me whichever attribute you'd like, but awareness.
I think what's in awareness might be a good.
Yeah, especially if you're just staying in your seat.
Mm-hmm. That's 2 successes.
Can you get me up to a 4?
Ooh. Yes, I think I can.
Okay.
I'll spend a willpower. I'll spend another willpower.
Okay.
Okay. I got to a 4. But that 4 is a brutal critical.
Good to know.
It's total of 5, basically.
Total 5. Okay. I will detail. I'm gonna roll my own thing, and then I will ask you as a reminder how the beast goes a little further with that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what looks to be the glint of red eyes above this eyesore of a green snakeskin suit, appearing to be covert, attempting to, at the very least. To the mortal eye, wouldn't be someone notable somehow, or at the very least notable as you find him. But Enhino, who seems to be keeping himself hidden away, sitting to prove something, but hidden away. You see him, almost as if through all the blind spots that he has, all their vulnerabilities he has as far as movement. But again, Jet, how does the beast go a little further with your success?
I think with Vanessa's excitement, it kind of manifests to match the energy. And I think Jet starts to stand, claps obnoxiously, and when the show is over, walks onto the runway and walks down towards this this person. Whether or not they can get to that person is up to you, but their singular focus is to get to Anhina.
Okay. I'm gonna roll just like a chance. You are pretty immediately stopped by a janitor, or like just like kind of the janitorial services of like the people who are beginning to like clean up from all of the like prop flowers and things like that. Just like, what are you doing?
I headbutt them.
Okay, cool. This is just a person, so they get headbutted, and I
don't have lethal body, so it's just like a...
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. I think there is a very hilarious swarm of janitors that begin to like go after you.
Okay. And I am very... I'm still very, kind of...
Yep.
Very heated still. And I think it creates a scene.
Yep.
And it's a good thing to do here. I hate the beast so much. And I think I'm gonna try to... Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to fight them until I get to N.
Okay. I think even more hilariously, I think the beast, it is your voice, but I think it's telling you to sit down, to stop being a fool.
And with that, I grab one of the staff, and upon hearing that, I let go, and I just like put my hands up, and while clapping, I'll go back to Vanessa and Beck.
The both of them, I think maybe Vanessa looked more concerned, but no, actually no. Beck was maybe a little bit more concerned than Vanessa was, and Vanessa just sort of like, was that like part of it? Like, were you like doing something?
Oh, no. Oh, well, fuck. No, fuck. It's, you know what it is. It's, I couldn't help myself. Fuck.
Should we go get somebody to suck on?
The way you put it, yeah, let's do that for now. And I look back and try to look for N, if he's still there or if he left during that whole thing.
I think that glint of red still sticks to you're like locking on the both of you. You know, you both see each other, acknowledge each other, and I think he is maybe far away enough from like the main action. He's like smoking a cigarette. He's alone. Rie nowhere near in sight. Thinking of Rie, speaking of Rie, you get a text message.
Okay. I check my phone.
From Cerise.
The message reads, would you be able to get Rie down to the fashion show like right now? I'm working her father.
I just respond, I don't think that's a good idea. That's putting her...
Yeah,
that's putting her in danger, is the end of the sentence.
Cerise responds back, how much danger? Could we protect her?
With this much people, there's going to be a lot of collateral damage.
And I think you see the bubbles of typing pop up a couple times. And then finally, you get a message that says, "Send me a picture of Brie's face."
Sure. And I send over the picture, and I just follow that up with, if this is gonna get N alone, then I trust you can do what needs to be done. Let me know.
He's going to think that his daughter's here.
Fantastic.
And I think on the other side of the runway, I assume that Jet and Cerise are on like opposite sides of the runway, with Cerise sitting with Hana. I think Cerise just kind of like looks down at the picture and kind of like studies it for a bit, smiling to themselves.
I think Jet has an idea of what you are about to do. And Jet sends you one of those time-lapse pictures. You know, when the Apple phone takes photos before, like a few seconds before and a few seconds after, so you can see like the movement, the mannerisms a little bit. I'm gonna show the text to both Vanessa and Beck.
I think Beck and Vanessa both kind of have like the same reaction to seeing Cerise's name on your phone, and they both kind of like shake their heads a little bit. Beck,
like, I know
a little bit
I
more
know,
so.
I know. Look, I think after this, I think we can all sit down and figure things out. It's gonna be less problems, but for tonight, please.
Beck speaks up. It is an entirely different ballgame today, so I get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, who's hungry?
Vanessa very excitedly, like, just kind of jumps out of her seat almost. And unless there's anything else for Jet, why don't we go ahead and take a break?
Oh yeah.
We're getting tickets. We're getting access. Come back from after break for some very fun, very important announcements. See you in a second. Welcome back to Itaewon By Night. But before that, some very quick, very important, amazing Bad House RPG events. Stick around for tomorrow. Go check out Bad House RPG's Twitter. Keep your eyes peeled and open, because Odd Duck Dice and Itaewon By Night, we have one more sponsored partnership for you all, and that is going to be some Itaewon By Night PC-specific dice that we will be giving away. There's 2 sets that we will be giving away the finale next week. So we'll be giving y'all the information of how the raffle will work. We'll be giving y'all a proper announcement about it tomorrow. If you see in Jay's hands right now, modeling beautifully are some Odd Duck dice that have been commissioned already. Some beautiful Viridian dice.
Yeah.
There'll be that's only a little flavor of what Odd Duck Dice can do. And if you want to be around for the finale, make sure that you're around.
I would
the
like to
raffle.
say that we each designed some of the dice. So all of our character dice have been designed by the players themselves, and then Joe designed the Itaewon dice for the actual city itself. So they're very cool. I will say they're very cool.
Pretty cute.
So cute.
They're very adorable. I love them. Information all to come. Very exciting. Check that out. Check out for the announcement tomorrow. More Bad House stuff. The Renewal of Red Row episode 3 is going to be this Friday, 8 p.m. ET, September 1st. Check out all available VODs on Bad House RPG's YouTube. And if you hadn't been there for the premiere of the monthly Baldur's Gate playthrough that me, Fabs, Chaotic Darby, and Kendall Mixed Films will be doing once a month on Mondays, Um, next month, over in September, we'll be announcing it properly as well. There's going to be another Baldur's Gate playthrough on a Monday of September, and those will always be at 8:30 p.m. ET. Check out our Twitter for upcoming announcements on when we'll be settling in for that. Thank you, Zombie. It was such a fun stream. God. Continuing on to the story. We have what we're wearing. We have who we're with, who we're sitting and standing with. At any point for our coterie, let's say this. There is a point where all of you will be able to meet once more after all the information that you've received, text messages, all the moving parts, moving pawns. I believe there's still only 2 tickets for the party, and then 2 others that are up in the air at the moment. But remind me, what's up, Viridian?
I have a ticket already, and I have 2 more. But I think Jet already got one, right?
Jet has been taken care of by Vanessa.
I think Cerise was angling to get one from...
Cerise is angling at this moment.
So I have 2. I think one is going to be for Wendy, and the other one is probably for... I don't know who, because I think Viridian has one, and then Ka would be Viridian's +1. Maybe the tickets for Kyun. I don't know.
Kyun and Ted.
I guess.
Do we want Ted at the party?
Hey, Ted's another gun.
True.
That Viridian gave them one assignment. You're coming to the fashion week, and you're going to make sure that no one dies except the people who we maybe want dead. They have one job. So yes, they are coming to the party.
So, I believe the only thing that needs to be done before we get to the party is Cerise's interaction with N. Is there any communication basically within y'all that happens that it wasn't just the text about Rie's face?
I think.
Oh, sorry.
No, go.
Me? Oh, okay. I think when Viridian gets up to walk around just to like get some air and clear their mind and push Serana away, I think Viridian sends a text to the coterie and just says like probably something very non-specific. Viridian probably says something like Rin is definitely up to something. Keep your eyes out. And then I think, honestly, the rest of the time of the show, I think Viridian is going to try to find someone to feed on, given that I am getting hungrier.
What's your feeding type again?
Corrupt people.
Oh, extortionist.
Extortionist, yeah.
What's your pool off the top of your head? I believe it's...
I have a herd. A lot of them are wealthy people, so I'm assuming at least one of them is here, and I can just...
Cool. If you want to give me a quick manipulation plus intimidation.
Would love to, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks! And I get 2 extra dice for... Or not 2 extra, 1 extra dice for coercion.
Yes, of course.
Cool. Six successes.
Without a hitch.
Cool.
Are you trying to get down to 1, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
A large sip. So I rid myself of 2 hunger.
Nice. Okay. Cerise. You have the picture?
Cerise is going to quickly send off a group text to everyone and is just going to say something along the lines of, I'm going to disappear for a while and talk to Enhino as his daughter. So if you're looking for me, I'm not around. And that is the extent of which, like, Cerise will tell. Well, Jet kind of already knows, but Viridian and Wendy what's going on.
Viridian sends a kiss emoji.
Wendy sends a thumbs up, but not in like a mean way. They just send them sometimes when they're busy.
So did
You got
Because
it.
That's probably why, honestly.
And
Hiccup.
with that, I will make my rouse check as I attempt to shapeshift into Riehino.
Is this love's lost? Lost? True? Love?
Yeah, it's true love space, yes.
Yep.
I
there.
succeeded my rouse check, so I do not get
Amazing.
hungrier. But remind me again, what does Rie look like?
Yeah, Rie has similarly like bleached blonde, long hair, wears very like I mean, honestly, there's like this through line throughout like Debbie and Viridian, these like very like sexy business casual, but Rie in particular, he knows this isn't like a specific detail that like crosses over like glaringly, but they are always covering all of their skin.
Okay. And I think Viridian will attempt to use True Love's face to turn into Riehino. Importantly, with True Love's face, only Enhino will perceive Cerise in this manner. Everyone else will still see Cerise as Cerise, which is how True Love's face works. So as I approach Enhino, I need to make a manipulation and presence check against his composure and wits to see if he is successfully fooled by this disguise.
Okay.
Okay. Is it 3? Oh God. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna use one of my rerolls that I have from the pool to reroll that. I'm gonna do that again. So now I have 0 rerolls from the free ones from people.
Thanks,
Okay.
chat.
I have 4 successes.
Is there anything else you want to add? Because N also got 4.
Willpower.
Use willpower.
Am I
to roll again.
allowed to add anything?
Willpower's
Okay.
a reroll.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing is, I got 3 successes on all my rerolls, though.
And that's it? Hmm.
Am I allowed to?
You can
I
blood
don't-
search.
Pretty dice.
You can blood search.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna blood search.
So rouse
search
check
add 2
and then
dice.
add 1. Oh, is it 1 or 2 for you?
I think
2.
I'm a childer, so it would be.
It's still 2. Blood potency.
It's still 2.
1.
Okay.
Yeah, is 2.
In that case, I succeeded my rouse check, and
Lucky Cerise.
I'm gonna use a willpower to
Okay.
reroll the 2 extra
Okay.
dice because everybody hates me. 1 second.
I'm imagining
Please.
this just being like Riehino and like an AI generator.
It's like that scene from the D&D movie with Chris Pratt
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
falling into himself.
Chris Pratt.
Oh, Chris Pine. I don't
Chris
know. They're
Pine.
all white. Like
They're all the same.
Yeah,
they
that's
all look
fair.
the
alike.
same.
I got that 1 extra success I needed finally.
Amazing.
So I think the disguise finally clicks into place.
Yep. If I believe you were in communication with N in some way, I don't think through like a phone number necessarily, but he tells you where to find him, and that sort of being what seems to be like kind of a midway point of the kindred that are beginning to migrate over to the Hwangdaebi Opera House, the Dowager Queen. I think truly what seems to be like an indoor smoking area. But even somehow this area has like a classist divide. And you know, you were able to be guided at the very least to and he knows little location. The air is sort of open here, but there seems to be like a booth area.
Rie puts on a very serious face. I know that Rie and her father are not on good terms right now, that their relationship is strained, and so I put on a little bit of a serious face and I walk into this booth and I find my father and I walk over to whichever table or what he's sitting at, smoking, I assume. And I say, "Hello, father. You called for me?"
He, I think, looks at you, looks at this Rie figure, impressed, but not impressed at Rie, impressed at Ceres, who is not here, wherever they are in the ether. Kind of like looks over at you, like furrowed, surprised, takes his sunglasses off to like look closer. How the fuck did you get here?
I don't think that's important. The point is that someone asked for a very important favor, and I learned from the best how to make deals, so I'm here.
I wasn't. Important is a word. Everything considering.
I don't want to be here very long. Why did you want me here?
The funny thing is, I didn't have anything in particular. I don't, there's not a reason. A father can't just want to see his daughter.
Given everything? I don't think so.
Give me a... It can be manipulation insight.
Okay. I assume I don't get my pretty dice because I am his daughter right now.
Correct.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna spend a willpower to reroll 3 of those dice, so that's garbage. Okay, 3 successes?
Okie dokie. The last thing you said was... Fuck. Can you remind me? What was the last thing you said?
Mhm. The last thing I said as Rie was considering everything. I don't think so. Meaning, like, a father can't just want to see his daughter.
Right. Okay. I wonder, even through like a small flashback, in whatever fashion, like just kind of through his head, through his eyes, through something, like his eyes, the fact that you hadn't really seen them this close before, or rather, the implication is gone. Finally, you see them directly. Is kind of this like feeling of a man who did not expect to be affected as much as he was, discarding his daughter after she said, "No, I'm not going to follow through with this idea, this bloodbath you had in mind for the life of one girl, for something even greater than that, a power trip over the Mins." It seems as though he's been distracted. Maybe he missed the mark for one of the things that he had in mind already. But now that things are getting closer to the party, time is passing. There's a restlessness that has to do with him falling behind on some things.
And I think seeing that Rie looks to the rest of the people that Gino is with and says, I don't suppose that we should be talking about family business in front of everyone else.
Where did you go?
Why don't we talk family business elsewhere, Father?
Be my guest. Kind of gesturing for, like, he kind of, like, gets out of the booth and just kind of will let you lead.
And I think as Rie, I will take, if there is another like empty booth in this area, in this private sort of
Yeah.
smoking area, then I think Rie will go there because there's fewer people than out in the fashion show proper. And we'll kind of slide in across the table from her father and we'll put on an affect of being conflicted, of being you know that feeling of when you want your parents to approve of you but you're also very upset with them because you shouldn't want that approval. I kind of trying to put on that affect a little bit. I was trying to get away from our family trauma. What are you doing today?
Is there a particular interest you're interested in that now?
I don't want you to make a mistake. For yourself, for me, for the rest of our family.
You don't want me to make a mistake. And you are the person backing down on family business.
I don't want to do business the way that you want to do business.
It took you this long to have a voice, huh?
Needed some time away to think about things.
Ashley's gone.
How?
Auntie Kaguya let us know a few months ago one of the men fuckers destroyed her, hid away her body, and all the saving that they were doing for her life, her future, her immigration papers, her visas, all of that bullshit, all the money to get her over here, gone. Because she died.
Why would they do that? She was just a girl.
Ever since, your friend, he says with an inflection, that Debbie, she's gone. Not coming back. Things have been going to shit. Young Chol, he's gonna burn for that.
Don't you think that he's on that track on his own anyway? He's not exactly competent.
The instinct for a fly buzzing and flying around your face like you're a giant sack of shit isn't to just let it. You kill it.
Eventually it flies into the light, kills itself, and your hands are clean.
We don't need clean hands in this family. In fact, it's better if they're covered in blood. They're covered in the viscera of the people who have done us wrong by simply breathing wrong in our direction. That is the power that we have.
So is that what you'll have the family do then? Us. To the Mints?
Every single one of them.
But something's gone wrong, hasn't it? I know you, Father. What is it? What's wrong?
Ray, you're not by my side.
I don't like being away from my family. I don't want to choose otherwise. I just need assurances that everything that you're doing is actually for the betterment of the family and not because of some grudge that you hold. Think about the family and not just past grievances. Can you assure me of that? That that's what tonight is about?
Give me another manipulation plus insight, difficulty of 2.
Okay. 6 successes.
He's unused to Rie sticking up for herself. It feels like he's carrying himself, but in front of you, he's fidgeting more. Unsure of himself a little bit, as if suddenly the kid you're bullying grows a spine all in one day. It's jarring. It's strange. Not necessarily in the way he doesn't believe that it's not Rie that he's speaking to, but in the way that, like, is she growing past me? Her father?
Sorry.
I think maybe even in another kind of flash in his red eyes. Maybe you've heard of this happening from Jet briefly, but Rie and him fighting, her not able to stand to fully fend for herself, the both of them transformed in protean shape changes. Giant, horrific, snake-like monsters. Winged serpents. And him leaving her to die, but not dead. He's not used to the reaction of someone he left for dead, for that person to come back so much stronger, healthier looking. The last thing you say being, promise me this isn't some kind of grudge, this is for the betterment. He starts to get defensive this time. This is getting rich. From a kid squealing for her own fucking life. If you're not here to help your family out, I want you to actually never see me again, or I'm gonna finish what we started.
And Cerise, I think, wants to take this opportunity to help Rie out a little bit. Because Hino doesn't deserve to be the head of this family. But Rie has got a pretty good head on her shoulders, from what Jets said, from the little we interacted with her. And so I think they kind of lean into this discomfort that En is feeling at seeing Rie so put together, not coming crawling with her tail between her legs, and will square her shoulders a little bit more. I think you'll find that it won't be that easy anymore, Father. And I told you, I don't like being away from my family. I'm here purely out of filial duty. Nothing more. So let me help. Let me take care of our family.
Last roll. Manipulation, persuasion, difficulty of 2.
Please God. Okay, 7 successes with a 1 on the hunger die. I don't know what that means.
If I just lied to you about the difficulty that it's so much easier, will that help out your rolls?
I don't know what that means, but
Because like when I give you the higher checks, you're getting 1, and then I say you only need 2, you're getting 7.
oh yeah, I don't know, maybe.
He pulls out an invitation to the party, attended by Sujin Kim, Kakebi, the K-pop group. Just kind of like tosses it across the table. Meet me here. There's gonna be a service room. Before you fucked off, the last thing I didn't tell you is that there's a detonator. There's gonna be a few. Take care of them, because there's gonna be a few signals. One goes to a very special room upstairs, and another one goes to the basement. There'll be a map and a little case. You'll be able to see it. I have some fucking goons there. You don't have to go down with the building. But if I do, maybe that'll be something extra special for you, wouldn't it?
And Rie smiles, takes the invitation from across the table, slides it over to herself. You'll be glad that you didn't kill me. And is going to tell her father, I have a burner phone that I'm using. Communicate with me through it. And is going to, I think, like on a piece of paper, write down a phone number, slide it across to Enhino. And this is Cerise's phone number, but I assume that, Enhino has never had Cerise's number before, so he wouldn't know that. It is Cerise's phone number, and she will stand up and exit this area. And is going to immediately text the group. There's bombs in the building.
Is this slang for something?
No, there are quite literally bombs in the building. One detonator upstairs, one in the basement.
Great.
Which building? I think is what Viridian texts.
VIP party.
Viridian sends a thumbs up emoji.
And Cerise also texts back, I think I have to stay as Rie for the party.
Wendy just sends a question mark.
I'll explain later. I'm trying to help her.
Hmm. Storyteller, is there a role that I can do to get more people to help with this problem?
Sure.
This is
Like a call on your people role.
Yeah.
Gather your retainers role.
Yeah. I do have 5 resources. So I'm filthy rich.
Okay.
I also have 4 status and I have 4 dot allies. So
Okay. Okay. Do you have anyone in mind, or just how many people are you intending?
So where in the city is the VIP party gonna happen?
It's a walk over.
And this, like, how close are we to Homo Hill?
Let's see. I would say this is maybe more on the midway point of like the art kind of studios, the like opera auditoriums, like the ballet houses, that sort of thing. So like not that far away by like car, but like not by like a walking distance.
I think I'm gonna call on maybe the rest of the Warang and
Okay.
see if they can take care of the detonators. Because this looks like it's gonna be a street war. What should I roll?
Let's see. The difficulty would be lowered because of your advantages here. We can do leadership or streetwise with charisma.
Yeah, I'll do streetwise and charisma. Streetwise, then. Okay. Uh, 3, 4, 5. I am gonna burn a reroll to be sure. Okay. 7 successes.
The VIP party with access now is this beautiful opening up to the beautiful, not as like homey or as vintage antiquated in the way that the castrato is, but beautiful almost in the way that this was an old traditional building. Like many of the like historical buildings of Itaewon were once their own pleasure houses. The Dowager Queen House, certainly a sad title, that were given to the queens whose husbands died. But there were also being this sad and lonely tale of the consorts, concubines taking over the love for the kings over the queens. there being sort of the painted visages of all of the Dowager Queens, the Wang Debis, along the lines of the walls here. However, the people who enter into these halls are not necessarily the ones that pay tribute, just to the ones that laugh sort of in the face of the wives who couldn't be as good as the concubines. Whose story do we really fight for at the end of the day, given one are a set of monarchs and the other were the women who could give birth? We're not going to get into that today. But the most notable thing, if all of you enter into the building either together or in your own separate ways, in your own separate investigations, things beginning to heat up, to build. I'm going to need everyone to give me a difficulty 3. Let me fucking pick up where the fucking shit is.
The fucking shit.
The fucking shit. Composure plus intelligence.
Roll to shit. Okay, great.
Roll to shit. Roll, you need a 3. Difficulty 3 to shit.
The poop jokes stayed in my head. What we're rolling went out. What are we rolling again?
Composure plus intelligence.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna leave my roll as it was. I got 1 success.
That's fine.
I got 3.
Beautiful.
Counting dice.
I'm gonna
I
re-roll.
Can't find... Composure what?
Intelligence.
2 attributes?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
I rolled 3 as well.
Sus. Five.
You're rolling against a discipline, so they get pretty sus.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, 5.
Yep. 5.
Oh, wait, question. I mean, not that this matters, because I got above it, but I have a thing to resist stuff with your mind. Like if someone's trying to do something to my brain, I have additional dice.
Oh,
But-
perfect.
5
Just-
beats it.
We can say that with that wherewithal that you have, that the mental fortitude, you're gonna pick up that this has something to do. This is once more a presence-based invasion.
Rin. Okay.
Rin. Cerise, however,
Oh no.
you are a tourist in a foreign museum. You are someone who is obsessed with the history of this place. You want to know more. You want to open doors. You want to find yourself in talks with beautiful people, important people. It's not walk off a cliff level of danger necessarily. This isn't a danger. This is an excitement.
And I think, importantly as well, Cerise is still Rie at this party. And so I think as Rie, I am going around and looking at all of the things like a college freshman with that glint in my eyes, ready for adventure, that exciting new chapter in my life, seeing things I've never seen before. And I'm just going around, looking at things, touching things I probably shouldn't be touching, talking to people, being far too friendly with everyone.
We'll say, Cerise, you are off to the pleasures of life in this location. Jet, presumably you are contacting the many, many people that you know. Without a hitch, there are people who are willing to be involved, are in the area, are getting sources. It's going to be fast work. Wendy, very quickly, is there anything that you are doing in particular upon entering?
Wendy is just going to secure a position where they can kind of see what's going on and keep an eye on like Viridian or whoever else they know is there. Keeping eyes, basically.
Got it. Okay. Give me a wits awareness.
Four.
4.
Yeah.
Guess who you see? It's Kian. He got in here on, however. And he seems to be speaking to someone with like a blue, very pressed, like thinly, properly fitting, form-fitting suit, like a red tie. Seems to be like, I think genuine, like still has like his like professor, like university like ID on him, kind of like hanging off of the breast pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say I think at the distance that presumably you are at, you wouldn't be able to tell what it was exactly. But I think you recognize this man just from conversations, from pictures that you've gotten Ted to like get into. Kiana's speaking to Mark DeRossi at a presumably all kindred event.
Wendy's feeling cheeky today, so Wendy's gonna just walk right up and say, "Hey, Kian, fancy seeing you here. Who's your friend?"
Oh, this is Mike. And Mark's name, who is on his ID out in the open, is like not exactly. But it's are you a friend of Ken's?
Yeah, Wanda. Nice to meet you.
Wanda.
Are you a friend of Ken?
We just met. He seems to be Thank you. He seems to be speaking about attending the university at some point. And this specifically is the university that Hayen goes to. I think you'll notice once more. Yeah, just had it was very interesting to see someone, I guess, interested in education. Comes in all forms anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard it's a pretty prestigious school, where you learn lots of things. What do you do there? What do you do there?
Oh, part of the art history program, the fashion design, that sort of all of this,
Yeah. Right. And so you came all the way here just for this? It's very you must be quite the connoisseur of international things, right?
I'd like to say so.
Yeah. That's cool. I should introduce you to some friends of mine, maybe sometime when you're free. Clearly you're busy right now. And Wendy's gonna look at Ken and go, you're doing the education thing? It's the thing you're doing now?
Ken, who has just been like looking at Mark this whole time, just looks at you and is like,
Right. Does he have a ticket too? And she just like walks, kind of like starts backing up and is like, well, I'll let you two get back to that. And then Wendy will Wendy will kind of just back away, but kind of keep an eye
Yeah.
like from the corner and kind of just watch and see if they go anywhere and maybe follow them if they do.
I think another wonderful, beautiful reminder, just because Wendy, lots of information goes through your head, you get lost in the sauce. Mark DeRossi is married to Polly
Yeah.
Killing.
Correct. Wendy will also take out their phone. For absolutely no reason.
No. Viridian.
Yes.
Someone, no one taps you or anything like that. They know you are too important. But someone just sort of like comes to your shoulder as respectful a distance as possible and just sort of says in a very flat affect, Viridian song.
Viridian turns over their shoulder and just kind of like studies this person in front of them. Who do I know who this person is?
It is the first model that came out on the runway.
Are their eyes doing the weird thing again?
Yep.
Looking at me? Oh, of course. The same disdain, all of that?
Yep.
Perfect. Love that. Viridian kind of keeps their face like as neutral as possible and shifts their weight slightly and just kind of studies this person almost as if challenging them, and they say, "Yes, that is me. How may I help you?"
Rin Pierce will be seeing you now.
Oh, Rin will be seeing me now. I suppose he's decided that already?
Rin Pierce will be seeing you now.
Viridian just sighs, and I think is this model mortal, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Viridian is going to just meet this person's gaze, and Viridian's eyes glow red. And just for fun, Viridian's gonna try and intimidate them with their
Go for it.
eyes of the beast.
Absolutely.
Which I think is, I don't know. I know there's an intimidation thing, but which attribute do you roll with?
It can be manipulation if you'd like.
Okay, that sounds good, because I have 4 in that. Get extra dice because of my glowy eyes. Six.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The purpose of this is going to Viridian's just testing to see if they can break whatever entrancement that Rin has over this person.
You said 6.
Yeah, like I'm trying to like scare them out of it, I guess.
Okay. Unfortunately, that does not scare them out of it. But
Okay.
I think it does make them grovel a little bit. It makes them like break eye contact with you and sort of like kind of like shudder in place, like they're cold. And like their voice trembles as once again, it seems all that they are personally willing to say to you is just that Rin wants to see you right fucking now. Like that definitely is the energy.
Okay. Viridian will just quickly scan the room. Do I see Rin, or is this going to be like a I'm leading you to a back room kind of situation?
Leading you to a back room situation.
Lovely. Do I see Cal?
Yeah.
Could I have been talking to Cal?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so then Viridian will just like hold up a finger and just say like, one moment, and I'll turn back to Cal and just say, "It appears I am being summoned." if I am not back here in 10 minutes, then you can begin to worry. And Viridian is just like smiling, just a bit amused at this situation. But I think Cal knows Viridian enough to see that in Viridian's eyes, that they are a little bit anxious about this.
Can I be
and
like kind of near anyway?
I think Viridian says, I don't believe I am allowed a +1, but if you'd like to at least follow to see where I'm going, I'm sure this messenger won't have an issue with that.
The messenger can't even look at you or like really is paying attention to Cal, so it doesn't seem like they'll stop Cal.
And then Viridian just kind of like gestures with their head and will turn back to this model and say, very well, after you.
You are led upstairs. Similarly, passing through all of the artwork of traditional calligraphy, the poems of mourning queens past, up until the most recent of whichever era, whichever last queen dowager that there was. The artwork and the poetry stop at one point, and in what seems to be like a grander showroom, maybe like a museum sort of area or along those lines, where Rin apparently has made a little keep. The time slowing nature effect of this model trembling entirely swept up in all of Rin's magic and entrancement opens the door for you into this room where the centerpiece is this magnificently, what seems to be like the restored paper door, like drawings, artwork pieces put onto like frames on up into a wall. This like perfectly, beautifully, like a deep dark brown waxed floors. Something about this room in particular attempting to like almost mimic what it was like to be a dowager queen in mourning, making her own art, singing her own opera pieces. Rin seems to be like just, you see Rin's back hunched over onto a table, like hands over schematics, tossed aside pieces of clothing, magazines, articles about themselves on the floor. After years, decades, even seeing the back of Rin's head, even. What's going through, Viridian, your mind in this split second that feels like an eternity?
I think, yes, this is the first time Viridian has set eyes upon Rin since they left San Francisco all those decades ago. I think Rin has definitely changed her look up. I think he changes his look quite often, I think. But she's still 5'0" 100 pounds soaking wet. But in this moment, seeing Rin hunched over this desk, despite their very petite stature, I think in Viridian's mind, Rin seems larger than life. In that there's this release of this energy that I think Viridian has been holding in this whole time. They make note of all of the scattered clothing and the articles everywhere. I think Viridian had known Rin to be someone who is extremely organized and very like on top of everything. So to see even the slightest bit of chaos around Rin is very out of character for him. And I step into this room. And is there anyone else in here, or is it just Rin and I?
It's just Ren and you.
Lovely. I'm assuming that the model doesn't just shut the door behind them then, and they walk away, or is a model in here too?
The model shuts the door and leaves you all to yourselves.
Lovely. Cool. Great. I think Viridian will just like turn and like watch as the door closes and turns back to Rin, and she adjusts the shoulder cloak and just kind of studies Rin, and Viridian says, "You wanted to see me."
Without really responding to you, kind of still in his own world, picks up a magazine. One where notably it's his face on the cover, but like she seems to like open a page and knows exactly what she's looking for, even if this was like just on the ground. And without really, there is no mentally invasive effect that happens once Rin's voice changes, but almost as if like an announcer, this voice that's so sweet, it's not Rin's voice, but like just reads through these magazines in a voice that spills throughout this room, like kind of almost like a hypnosis recording. Viridian Song, youngest CEO, tosses it to the ground, picks up another magazine with their face on the cover. Viridian Song, Viridian Song, Viridian Song. Tosses it to the ground again. Turns back around to you, like fully leaning against the table behind them, just sloppily. Their face, everything about them so beautifully put together, could only maybe be seen as tired by someone with an incredibly scrutinizing eye to the kindred faces. But something just so soul crushing about them is apparent to you, someone that had been born alongside. And without the effect in their voice. Do you know how beautifully frustrating it is? After years and years of me finally getting you out, me having you where I wanted you, away, for you to only, in the 80s apparently, make such a name for yourself that it's almost as if all those years of worrying that you would be the one to get the jump on me, and you were the one planning under my nose this entire time, building your own kingdom, your own fucking empire of shit. Shipping, international trade, companies. Your name doesn't leave every single place I ever go to. You're in fashion magazines as girl boss number one wears whatever suit. And I wonder, Viridian, my sibling, if rather than getting Serana to get you out of there, if I should have just asked them to kill you. and I picks up what seems to be like kind of like sloppily and what seems to be like a box, just like not locked by anything in particular, just opens it and like takes out like a ceremonial dagger, something that really isn't much worth to be swinging around. Something beautiful, something that doesn't seem actually useful by whatever means. Maybe something that can give you a paper cut. If I should have gotten them to kill you. Because that's what you're here to try. You're here to kill me. I'm here to kill you.
I am not here to do anything of that sort. What
You
did I
see their
ever do to
face.
you,
You see
Rin?
their face kind of like grimace at you, saying you're not here to do anything to them. What did you ever do? You were better. You had more. You were the first. No one was ever worried about Samir. Kind-hearted. No ambition. Not like the both of you and I. I needed you out of there. And then Rin is gonna pick up another one of the magazines on the floor and just like throw one at you. And then pick up
Okay.
another one and just like toss, like not necessarily aiming. Like if these hit you or not, it they go flying.
Can I try to catch it?
Yeah, sure.
When I get this thrown at me.
Dexterity something.
Dexterity awareness?
Sure. Yeah,
To
that
be
works.
ready for it? Okay.
Dexterity science.
Yep. I calculate the trajectory of the magazine in midair. That's 3 successes.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. It's like a flying thing of like paper coming at
Yeah.
you.
And Viridian just grabs it, and I think Viridian's nails are pointed, and I can imagine as they like kind of grab it out of the air, their nails just like crunch into it. And they, pull their hand off of it and try to like smooth down this magazine. And they look down at it. What is it? What magazine is this?
Everything that Rin seems to have are all fashion magazines where you, for whatever reason, have a spotlight.
Interesting. And these are like old, dating back years, I assume.
Yep.
And Viridian just gently is gonna walk a bit closer, and we'll just set this down on like a side table. And I think Viridian's face appears to be very confused, but almost inquisitive in nature. And Viridian just very quietly looks at Rin with an almost like sad, soft smile. And she says, I suppose everyone was right about you. You are just as alluring as all of your work. Why did you feel the need for all of this entrancement in this house? Do you really feel that threatened by me? It wasn't even until recently that I found out that My ousting was because of you. Help me understand.
What isn't there to understand, Viridian? People need to love you in order for them to stay. You haven't made people stick with you for specific reasons. Because their worth to you is better, it's sweeter when they're obsessed with you. When they believe every word you say, even if you're lying to them.
I from what I've heard, I think that is only something that you do, Rin.
Don't fucking say that. Everyone, the people back home, maybe not here, apparently, where there's not a Camarilla, there's not those other dogs. It's just a minefield. There's nothing here but you. How do you make people stay, Viridian? You're a child of Serana. People don't love us.
Let me tell you something. Viridian will walk even closer, and their eyes are just looking around at all of this strewn about chaos. And if there's like a little like side table or something, Viridian will just lean against it. And she is trying their best to look relaxed, and to seem like they are in control of this situation. I think Viridian is inside deeply nervous. But Viridian says, let me tell you something. The night I was banished, I had just finished a big project for our sire. It's been decades, honestly. I couldn't quite tell you what it was. It was one of many. I'm sure you remember she always had me doing whatever. But later that night, they came to me angry, screaming of betrayal, and all these things. I had no idea what they were talking about. I was sent away, told it was a gift, that I was not dead right then and there. And so I left. Traveled all the way here. All alone. I had no idea what had happened. Serana had in their mind that I was conspiring against them, something that I never did. All I wanted was for them to be happy with me. That's all I ever wanted. I've never aimed for anything higher or whatever you think I am, the person that you think I am in your mind. Have you considered perhaps that there is an illusion there? You seem to make me out to be someone that I am not. travel is deeply terrifying. If from you, you have also been very successful. Your your collection tonight was beautiful. I don't see why my success has to overshadow yours, especially when I am so far away from you.
And yet not far enough, Viridian.
You're the one who came here.
And well, a little bit of you, or at the very least, people of your same circle, came up to San Francisco. And now, a little puppet, some other dog of some kind, has gotten into the mind of Sarana, some Korean businessman. Sarana's, in all of their many ventures, getting into banking, getting into the international trade of it all. They've already been, sure. But a little bit of you came over. The reminders that you're still alive and you're still out there trying to be better than everyone.
I'm not trying to be better than anyone. Why do you think that?
Look at you. Look at what you've created. That comes organically to you, not just from all the people that you've killed or maimed, extorted, took the lives of. You're Sarana's child. You do things.
I am not Sarana's child. They banished me. Had said they wanted to never see me again, to never associate with me ever again. When you've spent years trying to please someone and they turn on you like that, do you really think I feel any allegiance towards them? Just sadness, confusion, wondering what I had done wrong. Only to find out years later everything was orchestrated by you.
And yet, who speaks to you in your mind sweetly, bitterly, when you fail? When you have a monster in your soul, in your blood?
You're right.
You are Sarana's child. We are. And the fact that I haven't erased you, that it's not just Samir and I. Samir can do fuck all he wants to. But when the reminder is there that you exist in this tiny part of the world, surviving, living, my blood boils inside of my veins. And I wonder why. Yes, kind of Rin begins to walk around, just kind of looking up. my jealousy, my greed. Sure. And in this wonderful death that I was brought into, I was given a gift, an understanding of love, where Serana's is whole. It gives me something that maybe it never gave you. It gave you the sadness, the cold pits. But for me, it gave me an understanding that love is something you can give it to people, you can force it on them, but it feels the same, all of it at the end. If someone wants you, that can fuel you, feed you for forever. And that's what I can give to even everyone in this house. And I can give it to you in a different, whole way.
Verdian, I think, is just listening to Rin. And if Rin were to really actually study Verdian's face, I think Verdian appears to be genuinely concerned and confused. I think Verdian is fully realizing now the extent to which Rin has sort of invented this one-sided rivalry. And Verdian will try to catch Rin's gaze as Rin is like pacing around, and assuming I can catch Rin's gaze for a moment, Verdian just says, I have never lied to you. I have never hated you. I have never plotted against you or tried to hurt you. And I am wondering, what is it that you desire from me? Do you want me gone? Is that why you came here? To kill me? What is it that you truly desire? You are not alone, Rin. You are not a failure. Serana loved to compare us, but I don't think we ever were comparable.
Give me now a charisma or composure persuasion check.
Okay. Does this count as negotiation? Probably not.
Yes.
It does? Okay, I get an extra dice. Composure, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna use a willpower. That was a shit roll. Okay. I'm gonna use one more willpower. Okay. That is 8.
Okay. Rin was doing an insight check and got a messy critical.
Oof. Okay.
Rin sees through your truth. And I think throughout this entire conversation, honestly, just this well of things that they've maybe said countless times before with other people to themselves, gotten the same speech similarly, but finally from the person in front of them, the person that he's been wanting to hear something from. What exactly? Who knows what? But almost in the way that your face scrunches up in tears, the way that the water burns behind your eyes, coming out like just the small speckles of blood, gripping onto the table behind him, beginning to like break and splinter just the ends, the handles of it. Their eyes glinting, pupils dilating. Their answer: I want to love you, Viridian, in the only way that I know how. Rin
And
picks up a communicator, a walkie-talkie, some sort of thing. Do it. Outside of this room, onto the floor, where Cerise and Wendy, Jet, all of you are. Suddenly, men who begin to put on masks, cover their faces, begin to draw hidden daggers, knives, swords, guns, all wearing some sort of flamboyantly colored suit. And one man in sunglasses and slicked back blonde hair in particular pulls his mask down last. With a sword out, he directs it towards you, Jet, perfectly. Whether or not you had been looking for each other, knowing where you are, and tosses the walkie-talkie to the side. The party's starting, folks! A gun goes off downstairs, Viridian. And that is where we will be ending our penultimate episode for tonight. The finale next week. I have been your storyteller, Josephine. I'm at Scary Dog Friend. If you want to go over to our wonderful raider, our first raider, Nameless Domain, they just played Magic and Misdeeds, which is a game that was written by Scholastic Dragon. Nameless Domain is starting a new anthology series of 1-shots, 2-shots, and 3-shots called Shots, where we play a bunch of mini-series on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This Tuesday, was Magic and Misdeeds. This Thursday, I will be running, or show running rather, our Sacred Waters, which is a belonging outside belonging game that basically models after the Odyssey. So if you want to go over, if you want to check out RJK Games, Third Vault Yarns, oh god, so many people, Draconics, and Hollow Compass, and as well as me, play a bunch of Fickle Gods, as well as one American sailor. That will be on this Thursday over at Nameless Domain. I will pass it on over to Youngles.
Hi, I'm Youngles. I've been your very overly confident Wendy this evening. And I have stuff. Sunday I'll be on MR Templars, I think. And I don't know, other stuff coming up. So follow me on the socials and things, and I'll pass it to Hamna.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. You can find me all over the social medias at Lilith TTRPG. And today I have been Cerise, who is apparently now very fascinated with everything around them. So they'll be very useful in this whatever shit show is about to go down. If you like what I do, come over to VO_Cologne's channel on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for season 2 of the Mythic Initiative. We have our first ever guest of the season showing up. Drac is coming, and so it's going to be an extremely gay episode. That is a promise from them. I'm also a little scared. But anyway, it's going to be great. You should come check it out. And with that, I will pass it over to Jay.
Hi everyone, my name is Jay. What the fuck? I I am on Twitter at NalaWoo and at NalaDraws if you want to see my art. I am also on all the other places at NalaDraws, so come find me. I am currently literally just doing this, so our finale, come do that. The dice from Odd Duck Dice, we're gonna talk more about it tomorrow. But yes, we're giving away 2 full 10d10 sets of vampire dice that were designed by us for this story and our characters, and as well as each set also will come with 5d10 red hunger dice, so you will have everything that you need to play a game of ATM courtesy of Odd Duck Dice. So I'm very excited for those. We'll have more details on how you can enter to win those at our finale, which is next week, so be sure to come for that. Also, you should watch the Mythic Initiative because I'm also going to be a guest later on, and I don't even know how to describe my character. I'm not playing a character, I'm playing a concept. And if you want to find out what the fuck that means, watch the show. I'll be on, I think, later on in either September or October. My episode's not for a while, but go watch the show. Humna's very good. But that is pretty much all from me. Follow me on social media. I do stuff and things, and yeah, gonna pass it to Fabs.
What's up? I'm Fabs. Find me here, Bad House RPG. And you want to see my art? It's Rockets and Pens. I have nothing so far except for the Bad Company, which is our Bad House Baldur's Gate run. But yeah, I'm gonna have some announcements soon. Wait for that. That's it.
Bye.